Hello guys, hope you're doing well. So for the longest time, one of the controversial topics in bodybuilding and fitness in general has been, should you train to failure or not? And also for the longest time since I remember, most professionals and coaches advocate that you should indeed train to failure or close to it. So the vast majority say that you should train to failure, and the opinions the they vary a lot, as you can see for yourself that there's a lot of talk about this. So people have been talking a lot of this, should you train to failure or not. And there was actually some research done, and the results are actually contradictory, with some of the research results saying that training to failure was more efficient, and some saying that it was a bit harmful, so less efficient actually. So the results were kind of contradictory, and actually in Jeff Nippard's latest video, title is RPE actually killing your gains, he briefly talks about it and the research done regarding training to failure and the contradictory results given. So I'm gonna try to link the video on the description and check it out. Now regarding me myself, so personally I always was a fan of training to failure or near failure, like giving your 95%, 90% to exercises. And personally regarding my results, regarding the back exercises, like the pull-ups, chin-ups especially, I always train to failure, and it is quite easy to train to failure because the number of reps I can do, especially which is kind of low, is really fast to get the total number of reps maximum, the maximum reps. So therefore I always train to failure on pull-ups and chin-ups, and perhaps some of the other back exercises, because also since the weight, for example in bench rows, is no danger as opposed to like bench press with barbells, or squats when you don't have a squat rack, then it's quite easy to train to failure, because if the weight, you have a problem with the weight and it drops, then you are not in any danger. And I found that my back gains have always been good, even when training back for only 8 reps a week. Okay. And however, regarding chest, then for bench press I trained pretty much at like 95% to failure. I never really did failure, especially on bench press. Maybe in some other chest exercises like push-ups or flies and stuff like this. But for bench press, which was my number one exercise for chest, which was for a long time mainly almost exclusively bench press and incline bench press with a barbell, going from 5 to 10 reps. So I didn't really go to failure, and the gains were okay pretty much. However, they were not as good as push-up gains going to failure. So there's a bit of contradiction here. And also regarding squats and legs, then for squats for a number of years I trained the 5.5 or 4.5 method, so going to 5 reps. And so for the squats I also didn't train to failure because of the heavy weight, so I never dropped it. It was pretty much, I believe, at like 95%, because I believe I didn't have a rep left. So after 5 reps, it was pretty much the maximum I could do, because I knew that the next rep would be failure, but I didn't attempt it. So, but anyways, so by doing this, I still gained pretty well in legs, and the legs were pretty much bigger than they are now, since I stopped the heavy squats. So yeah, not trailing to failure on squats gave me really good gains on legs and quads. So you can see that the results for me are pretty much contradictory. So for some stuff, training to failure was better. For some stuff, I didn't need to train to failure. And also for some stuff, I did train to failure or nearly failure, like for some arms workouts, and it didn't give much gains, didn't give better gains. So you can see that it's pretty much contradictory. So the bottom line is, it shouldn't be something you take too seriously. You can try both methods. Probably the best tip I would give is to try what works best for you. Like you can do 6 months of one way, 6 months the other way, and see what gains you get from both of them and which one is better for you. Or also which one is easier for you and more safe and more pleasant, because also being happy with your workouts is probably the most important thing. And also regarding safety, as I mentioned, I mean, if you have a home gym like me and you have like a bench press machine, especially one which doesn't have any safety bars or things for safety, then obviously you don't want to train to failure, because it would be stupid if an accident happens and you drop the weight and it's like at your 5 reps workout. So yeah, you must take this in consideration. Other than that, then I would say to experiment for yourself, and remember that everyone is different and everyone's body responds differently. As you saw, my own muscles, each group of muscle responded differently. So yeah. And also by science, we saw that Jeff Nippard's video mentioned how the studies differ. So some advocate that the best results were with failure, some say the best results were without failure. So yeah. Anyways, that's about it for today. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and see you next time.